carefully located of his 5 fingers in the direction of the Seahawks sideline. Woody, what to buy, what to sell?
I buy his frustration. It's sad for him. I mean, he's gone through this for the past 2 years trying to get a contract. He didn't practice because he's afraid of getting hurt. He wanted to get traded. They wouldn't make the deal to get him traded, and now he gets hurt. I accept what he did.
Israel?
Yeah, Earl Thomas did what he thought he was supposed to do. He was great on a team, and they won a Super Bowl even, and you follow suit. You go ahead and say, all right, I'm going to hold out and get my contract. Oh, it didn't happen? All right, I'm going to hold out again. They still won't do it. I'm going to ask for a trade. And then you take that gamble and you go ahead and play, and then this happens. And it's sort of like a collective middle finger to the whole situation. I wish this wouldn't have happened. I lost this gamble. Not great.
Glenn Yates?
Yeah, I'm buying both sides. I mean, as much as the Seahawks look like the bad people in this, this is typical NFL negotiating tactics. They're not putting money in a guy they thought was injured was going to get hurt again. It happened. He wanted the money. He didn't get it. He got hurt. Well, that means that we're just going to have to part ways on bad terms. Sometimes it goes down like that.
Ooh. Frank Isola?
Thank you, Clinton Yates. You're absolutely right. Remember, he had said they're not making an investment in me. When he gave the middle finger going off the field, how would that be any different than the Seahawks doing that to him 2 years ago when he got hurt? Or the 49ers doing that to Garoppolo when he got hurt at the start of his contract? It's unfortunate. I feel badly for anybody that gets injured, but it's part of the game.
RSL 2, James Franklin taking the blame for the 4th down play call in Penn State's 27-26 loss to Ohio State.
We obviously didn't make the right call in that situation. That's on me. We have gotten comfortable being great. We will no longer be comfortable being great.
What to buy, what to sell there, Israel?
I mean, it's just such a tough way to go down when you go into that second half and that fourth quarter even thinking you're going to win that game, and then that's the play call that you make. Even if they say they saw something in the defense there to take the ball out of Trace McSorley's hands by giving it off there, I just don't think it's the smartest move. I think you want to give yourself a couple other options. The play seems too obvious.
Absolutely, you want to give yourself a couple other options, and it took you 2 timeouts to come up with that. Of all things, that was incredibly deflating. I don't understand what Franklin was thinking whatsoever. Had a great chance to do something, botched it.
Isola?
Comfortable being great. What national championship did Coach Franklin that Penn State was in? I'll say this, though. I wonder if there was a blown assignment and he doesn't feel like calling out maybe the quarterback, the running back, or an offensive lineman, and that's why he's putting it on himself. And for that, bravo.
Woody Page.
He should put it on himself, Frank. What are you talking about? I mean, 6 minutes and you can't figure out a play that's better than the tailback up the middle. Give me a break. You got McSorley. You get him outside. Give him an opportunity to make something work. Get comfortable with not being the Big Ten champion this year.
Fire Cell 3, Jimbo Fisher's handful of Tyrel Dodson's face mask. He said he had to tell him to not be shoving and fighting. Dodson says it was okay Fisher did this. It was the right thing. Fisher has his back. What to buy, what to sell there, Clayton?
I'm selling most of this. Listen, I understand that kids are oftentimes going to side with their coaches, but in an environment in which you've got such a new microscope on how different methods of motivation and punishment are used by coaches, I'm thinking about College Park, Maryland specifically in this scenario. This does not look good. I won't use the dreaded word, Tony, but you can't have this from a visual standpoint if you're Texas A&M.
Well, that's still accomplishing the same. Say optics and take the mute then. Go ahead, Isola. How about you?
Well, can you imagine how many times this takes place in practice? I think Jimbo Fisher said, I think his intentions were right. I'm sure when he watches film of this, he probably cringes a little bit because I think he understands how that looks when everybody sees it. But remember, unfortunately, this is also the culture of football.
Woody Page?
I'm buying the player for actually trying to protect his coach in a bad situation. I'm selling Jimbo in this situation. Having covered this game for 50 years, that was old school. That was old school that was thrown out of school, and we don't want to see it anymore. Grabbing the helmet is unacceptable in college football, or I think even professional football, too.
Yeah, the visual of it is what is the problem here. You can talk about football culture. That coach could have come and yelled in his face, but grabbing the face mask, grabbing the collar, treating somebody as less than human, entirely demeaning, entirely degrading, and you just don't do that. Just take that out, take that element out of it, and then you can go there and lose your cool and not be this criticized. Say that again?
Treating someone less than human, that's what this is?
Absolutely. Like you have control over them by their face mask.
Yeah, that's a large part of it.
I think
I'll say this, though, Woody, you were crediting Dodson for defending his coach. I mean, that's a tough assignment there. His position is a subordinate to the coach. It's really hard for him, if he felt the other way, to have to have said that in any way as well. Look at the scores today. Israel, Clinton Yates, this is good for the points per game, not so great for the showdown appearances. Woody, Frank, showdown next.
Love it.
I knew this would work. I could feel it in my heart chakra.